So this is what we call a truth table. It says an apple is a fruit. That is supposed to be true. A carrot is a vegetable. Okay? Is P true? Yeah, an apple is a fruit. Is Q true? Yes, a carrot is a vegetable. Is P and Q true? Yeah, if you have two truths, then the intersection is true. Okay? Apple is a fruit. Is that true? Yes. Carrot is a fruit. Is that true? No, that's false. If one of these is false, then the whole thing is false. Okay? An apple is a vegetable. Is that true? No, that's false. Carrot is a vegetable. That's true. But again, for the and, when we say and, if we're adding these up by saying and, right, then if one of them is false, I probably shouldn't even put the, let me put the correct term or the correct symbol. It's really not a plus sign. The word and can be represented by this symbol. So truth and truth and truth. In other words, we're saying P and Q. Okay? Actually, I'm just going to erase that because I think that'll confuse you guys. We'll just do it the way the book is. All right. Now, the next one says the apple is a vegetable. False. A carrot is a vegetable. False. An apple is a vegetable and a carrot is a fruit. False. Both of them are wrong. Now with or, we only need one. Only one has to be true. So blue is a color. True. 5 is a number. True. Blue is a color or 5 is a number. True. So far, so good. Blue is a color. True. 5 is a color. False. Blue is a color or 5 is a color. Well, that's still true because blue is a color. When we say the word or, they don't both have to be true. Blue is a number. False. 5 is a number. True. Blue is a number or 5 is a number. Well, yeah, one of them's true, so that statement with the or is true as well. Blue is a number. 5 is a color. False and false. And the last one is false. Any questions on that? Now, when we solve compound inequalities, I want to get x by itself. The way that I do that is I divide by 3. Whatever I do on one side, I do on all 3 sides. And I get negative 1 is less than x is less than or equal to positive 3. What do I do to graph the solution set? Well, I put an open circle at 1. Can somebody tell me why it's an open circle? Yeah, there isn't a line underneath the one associated with negative 1. What about 3, though? Is that an open or closed? Closed. Because we're including it, right? This says less than or equal to. That means that we're including the number 3. Over here, we can't include the number 1. Because it is an intersection, right? If they don't write the word and, see how this one that says the word or? When it's or, it's going to open out. When it doesn't say or, it's going to be an intersection, okay? All right, so for this one, same thing. I want to get x by itself. I add 10 to all 3 sides, I should say. When I do that, I get 2x. Over here, I get less than or equal to 10, because 0 plus 10 is 10. And over here, I get less than or equal to 30, because 20, I just moved this over to the other side. What do I do next to solve? To get x by itself? How do I move that 2 away? Right here. Take a guess. If I'm multiplying x by 2 and I want to move the 2 away, what's the inverse of multiply? Huh? What's the opposite of multiply? Divide, yeah. Inverse is just a fancy way of saying opposite. Is that what you guys were like? What? So, what's 10 divided by 2? Oops, I almost wrote down the wrong thing. 10 divided by 2 is... I'm asking you guys, what's 10 divided by 2? 5. Thank you. All right. Is less than or equal to x. What's 30 divided by 2? If you don't know, grab that fancy calculator. 15. Thank you so much. So, I got to put something at 5. Is that an open or closed circle? Closed. Why do you say closed? Because there's nothing to it? It's because of this line, right? Okay. I'm hoping you're messing with me. Where do I put the next dot? 15. It's Friday and we have an early release, which is kind of like a half day, and nobody wants to do math. I'm probably the only teacher that's actually teaching today. Well, no, some of my colleagues are teaching. I shouldn't throw them under the bus. The kids don't want to do any work. Anyways, what's that? What about the teacher? What? Yeah, the other teachers let you watch a movie? Well, I'm recording this movie and putting it on YouTube, so you're starring in a movie. You're welcome. Anyways, draw a line between these. Let's go. All right, that's the answer. Now, what I was trying to say before you guys were whining and complaining, because we have the equal sign, that means we can include the numbers like 5 and 15. So we close the circle, so when somebody looks at the line, they go, oh, we can include 5 and 15. The open circle says we can go right up to this number, but we're not including it. Does that make sense? All right, the or, I know when I graph this, it's going to open up. That's the way these things are set up. What do I do here to get x by itself on the first one here? I got to move that negative 5. I'm minusing 5. What's the opposite of minusing 5? Adding 5. I know you guys know the opposite. Is this a silent protest? So this is x is less than, what's 5 plus 3? 8. There you go. Open or close circle at 8. And how did you make that decision? Oh, you said open. Which one is it? You said close. How do you support that claim? It's not. It doesn't have the underline. That means equal to. So think of it this way. If you can't remember that little line, right? Think of it this way. Think of a number. Can I say 8 is less than 8? No. So I can't include 8. Now, if I had that little line there, I would say 8 is less than or equal to 8. Is that true? Listen to what I say carefully. Is 8 less than or equal to 8? Is that a true statement? 8 is less than or equal to 8? Yeah, because of that equal sign. Yeah. So what that means is, and any number less than 8 is to the left, right? Let's do the next one. What do I do over here? Same thing. I'm going to add 5 to both sides. And I get x is greater than 13. But it has that little equal sign. See that? That means greater than or equal to. Open or close circle at 13. Closed. Why is it closed? Yeah, because he's doing these. It's got the equal sign. It's one having. So what they're doing. Let me point this out. Maybe it's not 100% crystal clear. This is greater than. This is greater than or equal to. So it's like if I were to take a greater than symbol and put the equal sign underneath it, except mathematicians are lazy, they don't want to write the whole thing. All right? So whenever you see one of these lines underneath, as you guys pointed out, it's underlined or whatever, that means it's equal to. So that means it's greater than or less than or equal to, depending on the symbol. And that means you include the number. X is greater than or equal to 13. What number is greater than 13? 14, 15. Anything to the right, correct? Okay, good job. All right, number 6. Uh-oh. How do I get x by itself? You guys are like, man, he's going to teach the whole time, isn't he? If what? Look at this right here. See this right here? I need to get x by itself. What is the 7 doing to x? Adding 7. So what do I got to do to get x by itself? Minus 7. Whatever I do on one side, I have to do on all three sides. She doesn't feel well. Normally she would participate, but she's not feeling good today. All right, so what is 1 minus 7? Negative 6 is less than or equal to x is less than 0. Can I have 0 as a number? Yeah. What do I put at negative 6? Open or close circle? Open or close circle at negative 6. Guys, up here on the board. Why do you say open? Because why? This is the part I don't think you guys get. Look at this symbol right here. So the negative 6 is associated with that symbol. Do you really think it's an open circle? Okay, explain to me why it's an open circle. Yeah. So you guessed wrong. So now explain to me why it's a closed circle, because I've said it at least 5 times. And I'm trying to figure out, just today I've said it 5 times. I'm calling you out, but I'm not calling you out. Where is, and I know the answer, you're just not paying attention, because I know you're smart enough to memorize that when it has this little underline sign, that it's a closed circle. So what I'm trying to figure out is, what is it that you're doing every time I explain it, because this is the 5th time I've explained it. You're just joking and laughing and trying to carry on a conversation with your friends, and now you don't know it. So the reason it's closed is because it has this equal sign, half of an equal sign underneath. Now at 0, does that have, when I look at this, does that have an equal sign at all? Huh? No. So that would be an open circle. Do you see the word or on this particular problem? No. So this is an intersection. That's how the problems are rigged up. It's an intersection. And if we think about it, we're thinking that negative 6 is a number less than x. So x has to live to the right of negative 6. And then it says x is less than 0, so it also has to live to the left of 0. Now on the next one, you're going to help me with this one because you seem to be daydreaming over there. What do I do to get x by itself over here? This one right here. I need to get x by itself. What do I do algebraically? No, him. I got to move the 4 or the 3. The 4 should go last. So how do I move that plus 3? You subtract it. So when you subtract 3 from both sides, these cancel and I get 4x is less than, what's negative 5 minus 3? 8. So now I'm going to divide both sides by 4, and I get x is equal to negative 2, or x is less than negative 2. Okay? Is that an open or closed circle at negative 2? We'll get to the other one. At negative 2, I have to put an open or a closed circle. What do I put and why? Open. Why did you say it was open? It doesn't have the equal sign. Very good. Now I got to think of a number that's less than negative 2. Negative 3 is less than. In fact, any number to the left is less than. Let's do this one. This one we do the exact same way. I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides, and I get 4x is greater than 20. Divide both sides by 4, and I get x is greater than 5. So at 5, I either put an open or closed circle. What do I put? At 5, do I put an based on this? Do I put an open or closed circle at 5? Open. Yes, you may. Shut the door on your way out. That's how you do that one. Okay, I'm going to pause the video there because it's getting kind of long.